I'm wearing my own merch today. It's called branding. Hello, I'm Cecilia and welcome back to another Artist Alley vlog. If you've been following along on this channel for the past year, you know that I went to a lot of conventions, really cool conventions, and I want to share all of my experience with you, but I'm just really behind on YouTube documentation, on editing, filming, all of that stuff, and I could give you 1,000 excuses, but I'm not going to. But I have decided that in order to combat my inability to keep up with video production, I am going to combine several cons into one video. Especially conventions that occurred kind of close together, maybe in the same month, will be roped into one video. And here is a list of all the conventions I went to and still want to document. I am currently taking a little event and convention break, so I really hope that before my next convention, which will probably be in October, I will have the time to, tick all the boxes and finish these vlogs. Anyway, that was a long disclaimer. I'm so sorry, let's get into it. In this video, I want to go over my experience at AnimeCon NL and also Abunai Con, both in the summer of 2024. AnimeCon was held in the Broodfabriek in Rijswijk. I've been there before, you can see the venue in earlier vlogs, and Abunai was held in a hotel in Velthoven. As of filming this, the 2025 edition of AnimeCon actually just passed, like last week. I wasn't there, by the way, but it does say that it was indeed a year ago that I filmed the footage you're about to see. I do still think that my year-old footage is interesting, especially since this con was the first time I actually vlogged, like as in talked to a camera during the event itself and during build-up. And I also changed my entire booth layout and even product line since the last time you saw me build up a booth in this vlog. And honestly, to this day, AnimeCon was one of the best conventions I've ever had, but it was also definitely a little bit chaotic, so we'll talk all about that. Abunai was also a really interesting and cool experience and a quite successful con for me. It was the first time I needed to book a hotel to go to a convention because Velthoven is too far away from my house to go back and forth every day, and also I don't really have friends in the vicinity, so I had to book a hotel, and that was a really interesting experience, and I'm excited to share that with you. I am going to keep the rest of this intro short because we have a lot of footage to get through, but my regular viewers know the drill. I'm going to show you the convention vlog, and then I, as in future me, is going to come back and talk about, the finances, my experience, my bestsellers, the lessons I've learned, and so much more. So I really hope you enjoy. Good luck to past me.
Good morning, everyone. I know I look extremely tired. It is right now it's just past 7 a.m. in the morning on Friday, the 7th of June. AnimeCon starts today at 2 p.m., so that's a while from now, but I still have to build up and I want to make some changes to my booth. So I want to be there as early as possible. I have to pack some final things, do makeup, eat something, and pack food for the day. And yeah, then we're gonna get going. I'm not going to lie, I did pull a couple all-nighters preparing for this event, because I also had a thesis deadline this week, so life's great. I'm just a little tired, so I feel like I'm gonna survive on adrenaline and caffeine, which is just a great combination. So it'll be interesting, but I'm also really excited, especially because I have a bunch of new products, so I'm excited to show you guys, but I'm still super tired. I hope makeup will fix that. So I have a new sticker display. I have these mounted on my grid cubes, and I do really like that. Right now they're really on like person height and you can kind of like grab them, but I'm really struggling to know if there's another grid cube needed and how I'm gonna connect it to the other side, because I have 2 more of these. So yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not sure yet. I do like the way this looks, and I think if I make it colorful it will be nice, but I am a little bit struggling. I also want to make a higher canopy right here to put my tote bags, so I just have to see if I have enough connection pieces and if I have enough grids. But yeah, we'll make it work. It's also just great to be going and then to find out that you put this connection piece in the middle of the entire build the wrong way around. I just love it. I genuinely wonder why they won't make 360 connection pieces, because this is so annoying. My OCD just cannot. I hate it. I hate it. So I just tested it out, and my booth is too tiny to put a 3rd grid cube right here, because then it would just like spill over the edge. So we're gonna make it work with this. Yeah, I'm worried I won't have enough connection pieces, to be honest, because I have to build another tower like this and then the canopy, but maybe some other artist has connection pieces. I don't know. We're gonna make the best of it. Also, it's really awkward to talk and vlog in the middle of a busy area, so I'm scared, but it's fine. Oh, and I didn't tell you, I'm all the way in the back, like in the far back of the entire dealer hall. I'm honestly kind of worried. I'm not sure if people will even like come here and if I will lose traffic just by being in the back, but we'll see. Yeah, it has just been past 9 a.m. and the con only opens at 2 p.m. so I have loads of time, but I'm really happy I have this time because I have to do a lot of things. I'm honestly kind of stressed, but let's keep going. You can see in my glasses I'm sweating. Oh my god. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, I managed to build another tower with these, but my OCD is tripping because there's one missing right here. I don't have a 8th one, so I have to turn these around so that it's like one piece, because we can't have a hole in the middle, obviously. And I'm even more stressed now because this one came loose and I'm not sure if I have enough rope with me to tie it up again. Help! So I'm going to commit sacrilege and use my embroidery thread, which is kind of expensive, to make this. I'm so sorry. Crises averted. It stays on. Also, now that it's not as godforsaken early as it used to be an hour ago, more dealers are coming into the hall. I haven't seen that many artists yet. It's mostly just actual like dealer selling pre-made stuff that is not handmade. I think most artists either have a little setup already or they don't need that much time. So I'm looking forward to see friends and other artists because right now I do feel a little bit lonely. Okay, so to save grid cubes and to save connection pieces, I might have to take off things here and there, but I hate how that looks. So yeah, I hope I can make it work with what I have. Yeah, let's hope. So I think I want these here to put up my tote bags, but I'm like, the lights of this thing are literally in my face, so I have to see if it works. My neighbor has the same thing, but the lights kind of block their upper prints. So yeah, we're gonna try and see how it works. Not sure if it'll look good, but let's just experiment. Okay, so update, it works, it sticks on, but it's not stable at all. So really, to make it stable, I need to build up a 4th cube on top of here, but I don't know, like I have 2 more cubes left. Okay, well, let's just rearrange and see if it works. So I'm officially out of connection pieces. I'm hoping to find some in my suitcase, but I did not. I don't understand. I literally brought every single connection piece I have, and you would think that makers of grid cubes would understand that you need as many as possible, but I guess they do not. So yeah, it's especially here, as you can see, that it's just super unstable, and I don't want to put bags on that because it's going to be heavy. Also, the lamp is in the way. So I'm going to try and see if I can steal some connection pieces from the back, from places I don't need. Honestly, I don't know. We're gonna see. So I do think we accomplished the setup I wanted. The only thing that I'm really not happy with is that now I have these empty spots, which I despise because I'm literally on this side. So if you walk in like this, you can see that there's no grids here. And I really dislike that. And honestly, right now, I don't really know what to do about it. So yeah. Okay, so I took out the grids here because I won't be needing them. But I will try and build up this side higher because I do want to like put prints here because otherwise it will be really empty. I did make this complete. I think it looks better, but yeah. So there we go. I think I managed to make it work. Yeah, this side, I hate being a side booth because you kind of have to make this side aesthetic too. You know, we're gonna try, we're just gonna start. Yeah, I kind of curse myself now for not trying this out as home because I could have prevented this stress, you know, but well, let's fill it up and see and just have fun with decorating it all. I have this new display piece that I'm gonna put my prints in. It's basically a drying rack, but I think it will work nicely, so let's set that up. Well, there we go. It will be nice to fit prints in this, I think. I'm gonna try and put it here and see if that works. I'm now stressing about the space I have because I don't have that much space, so I might put this up there, but then people won't be able to like easily leaf through them, so we'll see. Now for the prettiest display piece, that is this thing. It's a rotatable, I don't know English, but you can put like cards and prints in this and it will rotate nicely. So I think, yeah, I think right here will be a nice spot. And then you might remember I had a actual gotcha ball machine, but that thing was huge and it was impossible to take with me. I now have a gumball machine with beads in it, and I color-coded mystery bags to go with it. It's really not that big, but I'm gonna have to see where to put it because I do want people to be able to touch this, of course. I do think they will be able to do it from here, but right now it looks really weird. So I'm just gonna have to fiddle around with this. So last night I quickly made this little sign to go on top of it. I have no idea how I'm gonna make it stick, but we're gonna try. So the plan for now is to put a clip on either side of this and then force this in between. It kind of covers the text a little bit, but I think it's the best we're gonna do for now, so yeah. So literally half an hour later, I managed to mount this thing on top. Is it really sturdy? No, but like it will work. And we can put this thing in there. So yes, it will cover the text, but I will have to be okay with that. I will also have to be okay with the fact that it's not like straight up. I'm kind of depressed by that, but it is what it is. There is no other way to mount it on top. So yeah, I guess that's it. It is, by the way, now just past 10. Some other artists are coming in, as you can see. There's dealers working, but honestly, it's still kind of quiet. So yeah. So all this effort for nothing, but I actually think it kind of looks better without it, if I'm honest. So we're gonna keep it like this. So I'm just filling up my display. I do really like how the silly cat looks on top. It's still not super sturdy like that. It kind of falls. So I'm gonna have to see if I'm gonna keep it or not, but yeah. I'm currently in the process of moving away from fan art, so when it comes to prints, I have my fan art prints, like my favorites, all the way in the back. I I only have 3 of those, and then the rest is cool new prints. And I really like how people will be able to touch these and leaf through them. So yeah, I'm actually really excited by how this looks. I also have really cool new business cards. They're like mini prints, but they still have my old logo, so that sucks. I think I'm now gonna work on stickers. It's gonna be harder to vlog as it's getting increasingly busy, but I'm gonna put all my stickers in the displays, and that should do a lot for how it looks. Just a little update. This is how it looks right now. So I think this looks great. I have all my meme froggy stickers on this side, and these are gonna be filled with sticker sheets, and then I have my actual artsy stickers over here. And I'm actually really glad with how this turned out. I'm really glad with the changes I made. It is right now about 12 a.m. and you can see behind me, I think I just finished the initial setup. I have to do all kinds of price tags and some things, but I think it's finished, so let me show you. So I think I'm gonna do my price tags. My booth is right there. I think I'm gonna do my price tags later. Right now I'm just gonna go get a chair because I don't have one yet. Go to the bathroom, drink something, take care of myself, and then continue on. It is right now 2 p.m. so the con just opened, and vlogging right now is really awkward because people are looking at me. But yeah, we have a really nice row of artists. I'm really excited. It's still really early and people are just coming in, and because we're all the way at the back, it takes a while for them to get here, but I see a group of people coming, so I'm excited. It's again very awkward to vlog. It is now about 8:30 p.m. It's about 6:30 p.m. 18:30, and I had a really good hour. After 5 I had 10 customers in 1 hour, which is great. I just passed the 100 euros of sales, so that's great. I'm honestly really happy with how it's going, and vlogging right now is really awkward, so I'm gonna stop. Time to again very awkwardly vlog. You can probably hear my voice, but this is the back. of my booth. It's right now a mess and there's food on the floor everywhere and it sucks. Okay, so it's the end of the day. I just packed up my booth. I'm ready to go home. I'm really tired, but I'm also super happy because I broke even on the first day, which is awesome. I had someone buy a mouse pad and then someone buy my picture book, which is just amazing. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. That pushed me over the edge. Honestly, most successful con yet. Kind of happy about that. Let's see how it goes tomorrow. Yeah, everyone's already gone. The fun thing about cons is that everyone's super happy, but the moment the venue closes, every single vendor is gone. It's so funny. Anyway, I'm going home and I will see you tomorrow.
Hi, hello, it's voiceover Cecilia, and on day 2 I didn't vlog basically anything. This is actually all I filmed, so I'm very sorry for that. Also, my voice is very squeaky because I have a cold and my voice is leaving my body. But I still wanted to record. Anyway, at the end of this day, I went shopping for myself because it was a little bit quiet, and I found this Squishmallow. I collect Squishmallows, if you didn't know. And this is Kaden with a comma nose, and I got her for very cheap, so I brought her home. Then when it came to the last day, it was very quiet again, and I also didn't film much. I was just mostly drawing the whole day and handling a sale here and there. But yeah, I did film walking to my booth because I thought it was interesting, and the dealer hall and the artist alley in AnimeCon was very different from Fantasy Fest, which was in the same location. So it's funny to see that every organizer really organizes their entire event differently and makes the venue looks very different. Anyway, yeah, I filmed some clips here and there. You can see that there is not that many people, and maybe that was also because we were all the way in the back and people just didn't come to us. Yeah, that's all I filmed. I was already done packing here, and I did want to share that on the third day a professional photographer took a picture of me for the AnimeCon website, and I really like this picture, so I wanted to share.
Hi, hello. It's now almost 8 a.m. on Friday, the first day of Abunai, and I am really tired because I think I only slept for like 2-3 hours. I had my thesis grade come in yesterday and I got a really good grade, but I was so nervous and nervous the whole day that I just couldn't sleep. So yeah. And I have a 15-hour day today, so it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, hopefully I can survive on coffee and adrenaline, and then tonight I will pass out in my hotel room probably. Anyway, I'm gonna leave in like 15 minutes. I am packed and ready, so I'm just gonna have some kind of substantial breakfast, and I will see you later.
So I filmed that clip at home before I left with the intention of actually vlogging during the convention, but I did not, probably because I was so very tired. And I also didn't film like a build-up time-lapse, so yeah, you just kind of see everything done right here. It's the exact same booth as it was at AnimeCon, so there's not much interesting there. Something that is worth mentioning is that I brought a guest book, as you can see here, and people that came by my booth, whether they bought something or not, were allowed to either draw or write or whatever in them. And yeah, it was really fun. I got some really cool doodles, and this book now means a lot to me. You can see that all the booths were squished together here. Berry Moo, by the way, is my neighbor, and she's awesome. I really look up to her. She's like a huge inspiration to me. So it was really cool to be standing next to her. Yeah, the artist alley was relatively small, but looked amazing. So I was really happy. I was especially glad that my keychain, specifically the Black Cat keychain, did really well because I worked really hard on that one and I love it myself.
And I think I will show you my sales sheet right here, and you can see that I made quite some sales, which I was really happy with. I also made specific freebies for this event, and people absolutely adored them. I had some people specifically buy from me because of the freebies, which was cool. So yeah, then I packed up my booth and it was time to go to my hotel. I also did an art trade with my friend Spicy Cat Crafts, and I got those Pikachu ears from her. And my hotel was great. On the second day, it was amazing to have breakfast that I didn't have to buy myself. I did really have an issue on this second day because I was so tired and knew I wouldn't sleep in my hotel room, so I took a sleeping pill, which I'm, because of my illness, allowed to do. But it was still kind of working during the convention, so I was sitting behind my booth just before the con started with a heartbeat of like 45 BPM, and I could barely keep my head up. And this second day was really surviving because of that. I was super tired, and even though people were really nice about it, no one was mean about me being kind of a zombie. It did feel, I felt like I wasn't able to really work. But yeah, nevertheless, it was an amazing day. I had some awesome interactions and everyone was super nice. On this Saturday and Sunday, I also met some people from social media, like my actual social media audience, which is really cool. I don't have that big of a following, but to see people recognize me, it warms my heart. And then on the last day, the only thing I really filmed was, experimental content. I made some time lapses of me behind my booth because I thought it was interesting to see, what do I actually do? Sometimes you see me wait, most of the time you see me talk to people, sometimes you see me pack an order, give an order to someone. And I thought it'd be interesting to see this, but I'm not sure if it is, so let me know if you like this, yes or no. Yeah, it's funny to see this, and it's also funny to see that I can tell, looking at myself here, that I'm extremely exhausted. You probably can't, but yeah, it's funny that I filmed this. I think that's it for the convention vlogs, so future me, take over please.
Welcome back to the welcome back to the future. Welcome back to the future. Anyway, let's not dilly-dally and jump right into the finances of AnimeCon. Let's start with the expenses. I paid 205 euros for the table, which honestly, especially compared to the infamous Easy Fare conventions, is not that bad. It's a lot of money, but for a 3-day convention, it's okay. When it comes to supply costs and product costs, I did have a lot of stuff to make handmade products such as stickers and bookmarks left over, but I did also invest in equipment for my new display, such as this card stand right here. And I also bought some new products such as mouse pads, these hats, and pins and keychains, and I had them manufactured by someone else, so I paid for them. And my dog just kicked my stand. Obviously, it's been a year since this convention, and my bookkeeping at the time kind of sucked. So I really can't find the exact number I spent, but what I can see, it's around 170 bucks for the whole thing. Travel costs were non-existent since the Broodfabriek is very close to me, so every Broodfabriek con is just a gift to me because of that. But yeah, that equals to a total of expenses of 375 euros. Then let's talk about the exciting part, which is sales and profit. This was a 3-day convention, and on the first day I had 31 customers, which is great, and I made 212 euros in sales. So that is an average sale of 6 euros and 80 cents, which is a significant improvement from my previous convention. It really helped that I had some more expensive products such as pins and mouse pads and keychains with me, and I raised some of my prices too, and I talked about needing to do that in my last convention vlogs that you can watch here. So if you want to hear about that, definitely check it out. But I'm really glad that it worked, and that, my average sale was raised a little bit. Then on Saturday, I had 32 customers and a total of 173.50 cents in sales. So that makes an average sale of 5 euros and 42 cents. On Sunday, it was definitely the slowest day because I only had 25 customers. with a total of 98.50 in sales. So that's an average of only $3.94 per sale. But overall, it was a great convention financially for me. The total income was 484 euros, which is my highest I have documented so far. And that means that if we subtract the expenses from that, I made 109 euros in profit. When it comes to bestsellers, you see that the day averages really reflected the variation of what sold best per day. On Friday, my best day, there were a lot of like older adults and people with children that really liked my children book illustration art. My dog, my camera is standing on my bed and wait, I can show you. My dog is sleeping on my bed. There she is. And she just moved and my camera moved with it, but it was the cutest thing. I wish I had that on camera. But yeah, like I said, on that Friday there were a lot of older adults and people with children that liked my illustrations because they're kind of pastel children bookish. And you know, those people bought them as gifts for other people with children or for their own children. So yeah, you know, older adults, they have jobs, they have a little bit more money to spend, and you know, items such as my picture book or my mouse pads or my keychains or like the more expensive items sold a little bit better on that day. And then on the Saturday and the Sunday, I noticed there were a lot of teenagers, like young teenagers, like 14, 15, and a lot of people that were actually interested in anime, which obviously I don't offer. So these people came to my booth to basically spend their change, you know, their loose coins, and so they bought like a small button or maybe a sticker or two, but nothing more. So yeah, I mean, to this day, I'm still very much searching for the right audience. You know, where do I click? Where do I fit? What is my target audience? It's pretty hard to figure that out. And I must say, I did have some really fun interactions during this convention. And I'm very grateful for everyone that stopped by, but it was also notably very, very stressful. I remember that at one point the police had to come in because there was like an incident in the 18+ area, and you know, when I would go to the bathroom or get up to get some food and leave the safety of my stand, it was really insane. It was really busy and rushed, and I didn't really feel safe or at home like I usually do at conventions. And I think that's one of the reasons that I canceled my table order for this year, because after AnimeCon I had to sleep like a couple of days to recover. It was very intense. So even though financially it was good for me, it certainly wasn't the most cozy or happy con for me. And you know, con going for me is very much a hobby. This is not my job. I don't make the kind of money that sustains me. So I do want to have like genuine fun at events. So yeah, I think the biggest lesson for me this time is to pick events very carefully and to take the intensity into account. There is a motor outside. And especially because later in 2024, especially during Christmas time, I would do some local markets, and those really clicked. Like, I both sold well and had tons of fun. So I'm still experimenting with which cons to go to, but yeah, maybe AnimeCon just wasn't my type of convention. Then let's quickly review Abunai. Abunai was just a few weeks after AnimeCon, and I didn't have to make much new stuff as I kind of over-prepared for AnimeCon and I had a ton left over. However, I did have some expenses. The table was 150 euro, which, by the way, for a 3-day con is really good. But the kicker was that I did have to book a hotel room, as I told you in the intro. I was lucky enough to receive some financial help for these costs from my mom, but I am going to include them in the equation because, yeah, I just want to see them for a future reference. And I want to make, you know, a realistic equation. So my hotel costs were 195 for 2 nights, which is pretty okay. I was too late with booking the hotel that the convention was like held in, so I had a few options and I chose to book a relatively cheap hotel that was like 30 minutes by bus away from the venue. So that brings the total costs to 345 euros. Then I would like to talk about income. On Friday I had 23 customers and 116 euros in profit, so that was an average of 5.1 in sales. And on Saturday I had 24 customers and I made 150 euros, so that was an average of 625 euros per sale. Lastly, on Sunday I had 23 customers, so honestly every day I had the same amount of customers. And that day I made 130.50 euros. That's an average sale of 5.70 euros. So in the end I made 396.50 euros. So in total, if we subtract the expenses from that, I made 51.50 euros in profit, which is not too much, but for a first convention that required hotel costs, I was honestly happy I broke even at all, so I can't complain. And when it comes to experience, Abunai was very, very fun. I had a really, really awesome neighbor, and my other neighbor was Berimu, who I really looked up to. I've been following her since before I started my own business, and she's like kind of a role model, so it was really cool to be standing next to her. I met really cool people, I had some really cool conversations, and it was the first time my new products, such as keychains, started selling a little more, and it was also the first time that I really started meeting my online audience. Like I met some Instagram and TikTok followers, which doesn't happen often, so that was really cool. When it came to the convention type, this was definitely like a party convention. There were a lot of students, and it was very clear that they didn't come to buy gifts or, you know, actual trinkets, but they would spend maybe a few bucks on like a sticker or two, nothing more than that. It was clear that they mostly were at this convention to have fun with their friends and to party. And I did learn that cons far away from home are very exhausting. I'm not the best sleeper, and sleeping in a hotel room is pretty hard for me, but nonetheless, I think I would go to Abunai again if I was selected next year, because it was very fun, and with the improvements I have since made to my business, my products and my stand, I feel like I could improve. Let me put my little hoodie on because the sun is setting and it's starting to get a little bit colder. That was it for this video. It was probably a little bit long, but I did kill two birds with one stone. But if you stayed to hear about both conventions and both experiences, I really want to thoroughly thank you for your attention and interest. I always love seeing who actually watches my videos, so if you've watched to the end and you hear me say this right now, leave a flower-themed emoji in the comments. And just before I go, I do want to say that my next video is something I'm very, very excited for. It won't be an Artist Alley vlog, it also won't be a studio vlog, but something very exciting is coming. As always, if you want to keep up to date with me, my Etsy launches, my convention schedule, if you want to see some short form content, be sure to follow me on Instagram because I am very active over there, and this dog won't stop barking. That's it for today. I hope you enjoy the sun that is starting to show with the summer weather, and yeah, I will see you soon. Much love. Mwah. That was so cringe, oh my god. Welcome back to the future. Oh, my bra is not...